as we have touched the summer break of the 2025 Formula One season. A season that hasn't been so dull, but can still promise more, can still deliver more. We shall be taking some steps back and having a report on how the 2025 season has been, at least from the perspective of every team on the Formula One grid. We are also going to be taking a look at their drivers as well. Some brief information about the drivers, but just involving the teams through championship order, from the leading team in the Constructors' Championship to the bottom last. And I know first and last place are the most obvious, so stay tuned. We're going to be kicking off with McLaren, the reigning Constructors' Champions, and with like 300 points advantage over Ferrari and the rest of the pack. Honestly, it's looking like the World Constructors' Championship is heading back to Woking. And also the Drivers' Championship is between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, with Piastri being the championship leader after 14 races. But Lando Norris is second place, but close behind. Now the thing with Lando Norris is the amount of mistakes that he's been making throughout the season. He has got another 10 races or so to redeem himself and show that he actually wants to win the championship. Otherwise, McLaren have got the most unstoppable car on the grid. Next up is Ferrari. Now, as much as they are second place in the Constructors' Championship, somehow their performances, especially when it comes to strategy, have been atrocious, and the pace has been moving up and down. In what is supposed to be basically a new era for Ferrari, especially with the arrival of Lewis Hamilton, they've had a tough 14 races of 2025. And even though, yes, Charles Leclerc has scored 3 podiums and a pole position, he's been mostly done over by Ferrari strategy. And then Lewis Hamilton, the man who's new to the team, with a sprint pole and win in Shanghai. But I feel like there's a lot more we can see from Lewis. Of course, him telling himself that he's useless. A lot of us that have watched Lewis Hamilton know that he's definitely not useless. But for Ferrari, their strategy team and their strategies in general are quite useless, and that is what they need to fix. And maybe some questions could have been asked. Should they have stayed where they were from 2024? Next up is Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton's previous team, and the team that's also been having mood swinging type of pace. But Mercedes at times, and mostly in these 14 races, have been closer to McLaren than most teams on the grid. We've had George Russell, who won the Canadian Grand Prix and was on the podium with Kimi Antonelli, who also got a sprint pole in Miami. Russell has been getting multiple podiums, basically carrying the team in the last few races. And Antonelli has been doing good. He is one of the rookies of the year, but has had a rough patch in the last few races. Mercedes have got strong pace, but there is definitely more that they can do. Next up, we are getting to the interesting parts. Red Bull. Now, compared to where they were from 2022, 23 and 24, it is quite unbelievable to see Red Bull struggling this bad. Verstappen, who's still had 2 wins in 2025, is quite unhappy, and rightly so. That Red Bull is basically a tractor, and he's having to carry that through every race, and even telling the media that he does not expect to win another race, let alone Red Bull winning any race in 2025, especially with the pace of the McLarens and the other cars such as the Mercedes and the Ferrari. When you talk about the second Red Bull car, that's another issue. We don't know what's going on with that second Red Bull car, because Liam Lawson, if we've forgotten, was dropped after 2 races, the opening 2 races by the way, and then Tsunoda replaced him, still struggling. And honestly, it's crazy. And to make matters worse, they sacked Christian Horner some races ago and replaced him with VCarb's Laurent Mekies. Moving on to Williams. Williams have been the team that has been quick in a lot of races. There are times where they match the Ferraris, and then there are times where they match Alpine, sarcastically. Sainz is giving you everything. Carlos Sainz, of course, in his first season with Williams, he can show sometimes that he's good. He is good, we know he's good, but of course, somebody who's new to the team has to settle down, and that speaks for a lot. And then there's Alexander Albon, the team leader, who has been doing some good jobs, just like in Belgium. He did a really good job there. But Williams, there's potential in that team. They can definitely get more. Moving on to another Mercedes-powered team, and this is Aston Martin. They have struggled for most of the 2025 season. Alonso, with a good car, can show that he still has it. And I think we all saw that at the Hungaroring. Together with Lance Stroll, who has been good this season, but we can see that he still messes up sometimes. As seen in Monaco, in practice, we don't need to talk about that. Especially if you're a Charles Leclerc fan, we just don't need to talk about that. But we do need to talk about Adrian Newey, who is new to the team and is in business. Let's see what Aston Martin has for the rest of the season and for 2026 as well. Next up is a team that has impressed not only me, but the entire Formula One paddock and community. Kick Sauber. The name is something else. Steak Kick F1 Sauber. That's an extremely long name and unnecessary name, but due to sponsorship reasons, that's how they are. But they've definitely had a brilliant season. It didn't start off so smoothly, but they've just been rising and rising and rising. It's been amazing. Nico Hülkenberg, after 15 years, earning himself his first career podium. Sauber's first podium since the 2012 Japanese Grand Prix, from the GOAT, Kamui Kobayashi. We all remember him. Gabriel Bortoleto, for me, is going to be, if he keeps up his momentum and his performances, he could be Rookie of the Year. He's an amazing talent, and for Brazil, this is promising, even with the F3 champion Rafael Camara winning the F3 title this year. Brazil are getting spoiled. And honestly, even though I'm not Brazilian, I cannot wait for the Brazilian Grand Prix. A Brazilian driver, this is going to be magical. As I finish glazing Sauber, I may as well glaze VCarb, even though their championship position doesn't deserve to be glazed at all. But their livery does. They've had a fantastic livery. For me, the best of the season. And they've been having some great performances as well under the radar, with Liam Lawson being dropped after 2 races from the Red Bull second seat, but is scoring more than Tsunoda himself, and he's definitely found himself at that VCarb seat. Together with Isaac Hadjar, he's had rough times, just like Silverstone as well when he had that big crash. But Hadjar is doing well, making it past Q1 in all of his appearances. Isaac Hadjar, well, has had rough times, but we know that he's good and he's showing it. Of course, VCarb lost Laurent Mekies to Red Bull after the whole fiasco with Christian Horner, and he was replaced by Alain Permain, previously the team's sporting director. Now we are reaching the bottom of the iceberg here. Haas, well, they've had a good livery, but the performances, well, they've been a bit up and down. They're good here, bad there, but have been scoring points frequently or regularly. They are the only team on the F1 grid as of now without a podium, which is unbelievable. Ocon showing his good driving in a lot of races. Same with Behrman as well. Behrman has been giving it everything. But the thing with Behrman is that he's made a lot of errors this year. And of course, for a rookie, that is expected. And we know Behrman can fix up, just has to, for him to progress further up the grid into the higher seats. Oh boy, here we go. 10th place. Last place in the World Constructors' Championship. The worst in terms of pace. A lot. It's Alpine themselves. I cannot believe how much Pierre Gasly has carried this team. He has been the driver scoring all the points for Alpine in 2025. They've had Jack Doohan in the seat, thrown out by Flavio Briatore, and brought in Franco Colapinto, who has taken over Doohan's legacy. They both of them have earned 0 points for their side, while Gasly has scored all the points. And honestly, I think Pierre Gasly needs a wheelchair because he's carried Alpine through 14 races, which is unbelievable. Honestly, they've not been the same since 2022, since Alonso left, and it's likely to get worse for Alpine if they decide to drop Colapinto as well, and then maybe putting in Bottas would be a suitable option. But for now, Alpine, they're screwed. Yes, well, those were my honest opinions. A decent report from my side of every single one of the 10 teams on the Formula 1 grid in 2025 and how they've been in 2025. Let me know what you think is going to happen for the rest of the year. And if you've got any more to add on for all of these teams, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content for the 2025 Formula 1 season and just Formula 1 and motor racing in general. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys next time.